Don't hold back. Let them boys have it. I don't know if you keep this in or not, but just want to tell our guests, anyone, if you haven't listened to us before and this is your first time, Hawks to ya. Drinking Hulk coffee.
But we're on that. I think we're on that line where it's like 85 or 84 is when the cutoff was. Like, that's why, Jesse, you and I act so different. I don't need just things handed to me. She's not that way, but I just mess with her. Anytime something comes up and it's about millennials, I'm like, oh, your people are so you're killing us.
I didn't even know that I was a millennial.
You know that you and I are almost not in the same generation as they are. I think it cuts off at 94. Or sorry, 84, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. So when people are like, oh, yeah, what are they called again? Generation what? Millennials, yeah, they not a generation. I was thinking Generation Z.
Yeah.
But we're on that. I think we're on that line where it's like 85 or 84 is when the cutoff was. Like, that's why, Jesse, you and I act so different. I don't need just things handed to me. She's not that way, but I just mess with her. Anytime something comes up and it's about millennials, I'm like, oh, your people are so you're killing us.
I didn't even know that I was a millennial.
I didn't either.
Because people were talking about, I was like, yeah, all these stupid millennials.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what are millennials? I looked it up.
It
and
was
I
like you.
I was like, I was like, oh. I was like, then why don't I act that same way? But maybe it's because we're at like the beginning of it, you know? That's like, you know, like you said, 85 to, I don't know what the cutoff date is.
Like 90 to maybe 2000.
But maybe like that very beginning of it, like mid 80s on, you know, to maybe the 90s. Maybe they still got like a, I don't know, a decent review on reality.
I don't know.
To where they could still, I don't know, because I don't know. I don't get it.
My wife doesn't act like the typical, like, I deserve this type attitude. She's very self-aware and independent.
Yeah.
But I don't know where it comes from. But, okay, I say that. But
you're
the youngest, though, aren't you?
In my family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that doesn't add up. Because my theory is, because a lot of the whiners, were your parents the youngest or the oldest in their family?
My mom's actually the oldest.
Okay.
My dad, he's like somewhere in there.
In the middle?
I guess, yeah, because he's out of 8.
Because I think
he might be like 3rd or 4th.
The
maybe.
youth pastor of the church I go to, he's like he's the maybe 2nd or 3rd oldest out of 9.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And one of them was a set of twins, so it was like all at once. Holy crap. Our parents, that were younger or the youngest, then raised their kids, our people, our generation.
Yeah.
I think that's the flaw.
Being the youngest? Or
our parents that are the
children
youngest.
of the youngest.
Yeah, that are, because the youngest, especially specific, that's why I asked, but you got to see your older siblings like make mistakes.
Right.
But a lot of the younger ones, the older ones leave the home, so they kind of get everything. Like Tristan is an only child, but one day he won't be. And so he's our first. We've tried a lot of things out on him that we won't have to try on the next one.
Yeah.
So it's like he took all the
I think that's
trauma.
That's the way it always is. I think the oldest, because that's like your practice run almost, because you're like, we've never done this before. We've just seen other people do it, and we're just going off of advice that our parents gave to us, you know, friends or whatever, other relatives that we're going off of. And we're just trying to implement some of these things, but along the way, we're coming up with our own thing and how we want to raise our kid. And then the middle one's always weird anyways. The middle kid's just, I don't know what it is about the middle kid. They're always just something. They're never like.
Because did your parents let your other siblings go out and do like you did?
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, they did, but at the same time, they did a whole lot more than I did. Like whenever I was growing up, like whenever I was like their age, I didn't do any of the stuff that they did. It wasn't until like I got like older, like when I was like 19, 20, and I was kind of on my own, that's when I started not really, I want to say doing stupid stuff, but that's when I started like drinking and partying and all of that. During my teenage years, or early teenage years, like I never did any of that. Like, you know, I wasn't interested in drugs or any of that, which I never got into drugs anyways. But
I'm just trying to see if there's like a pattern. Like
I
if
don't
there's
know.
more to it that like my dad was the oldest.
yeah,
I was his oldest. I did stupid stuff. And I did have a time too where I not felt like I deserved, but I would abuse a relationship with my
Right.
parents to get what I wanted.
Well, look at it this way. Okay, so when you first get married, you're just starting out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're just, you know, getting your life started and everything. Depending on whenever you get married, you're just getting everything going. You're getting your career started and all that, and then now, you know, you decide to have a kid. Okay, well, you're at the beginning of that, so I think that first kid doesn't get as much as, say, maybe the next two or maybe the next one.
Yeah.
Because you're just starting out and maybe you haven't got any of the promotions that you're going to get like 10 years, 5 years down the road.
That makes a lot of sense.
And then further on, like now you have more money and you can do more things for that younger kid that's coming up. And they're like, well, why didn't you do any of that for me? It's like, well, because I didn't have that. I didn't have those resources when you were that age, and then I was 5 years younger or 10 years younger than I am now. So, of course, I'm going to be able to do more for them or be able to get them nicer things, I guess. But that's just because my financial situation has changed, you know, further on down the line. Like if that parent's like ambitious and, you know, trying to move up the ladder or anything.
Yeah. That makes sense because my parents had more money when my brother was in his teens than they did when I was in my teens.
Yeah. So.
And they were able to afford more things, get him vehicles, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Humor. Oh, that reminds me. The last episode we did about ethics, she was like, you know, I can help you get 1 million followers. Get to the topic.
Ooh.
I'm like, whoa,
dang,
excuse me.
Dog.
I was like, well, you still listen, though.
Boom. Still got you.
I said it was leading up to the whole, like, the question.
Right.
But she has to be told that, and then she'll go back and listen again, and then she'll be like, oh, okay. I want you to spoon feed me because I'm a millennial. God. That's what she's wanting, a spoon-fed podcast.
That's what she wants a bib with a spoon that's
go.
Soft so you can bite on
Here's
it.
our
so
topic.
You don't hurt your teeth.
Yeah. Well, too bad, girl. We serve meat around here.
Vegan.
Speaking of talking to women, we did it again. We talked for a while.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to say hello in the middle.
We're glad that you're here. Thanks for joining us. If you're new to the channel, we're happy to have you. I don't know why I'm staring like that way. The camera's over here.
We have a live audience behind the camera.
Hey, guys.
Good to see you, Joe. All right. Hey, Bill.
Jerry, wearing that hat again.
Dave.
Good to see ya.
Told you not to come back.
Lisa. Huh.
So,
should have found somewhere else to be.
If you are listening on the platform you listen on, go to YouTube and type in The Bearded Cactus, and you'll find every episode. Is it 5 episodes?
It's
ago?
5 or 6.
5 episodes ago, I think we started.
Something like that.
By the way, today is our 20th episode.
20th episode.
20th episode in 2020,
and
y'all.
You know what that means. That means it's time for the 20th episode here. Speaking of which, since we're on 20 in 2020, like when I filled up gas, it was $20.20.
Really?
And I
You
took
better
a picture.
sell that car.
I was going like, if something bad happens today, if something bad happens to my gas, I've got the proof of why.
Suing the gas station.
Yep. I'm going to blow that place up.
I saw a...
Man,
and
I got so much I
shared
want
it.
to talk about.
I shared it
than just
because
talking to women.
that's fine. We can be random. We can have a random episode.
That's fine.
Today we're random.
I got like a lot of... Okay. Well,
That's fine. So I saw this thing on Facebook and I shared it because it said Texas is being overran by sewer rats, and it showed this little rat thing with the huge teeth, a nasty looking thing. It looked like it was from a movie I saw.
Like for real?
The Labyrinth.
Is that
or
like a
something.
real-
I don't know, but I shared it and I said, "Oh, hey, welcome to the rest of 2020. We've been expecting you. Come on in and have a seat." Yeah.
Your chair's right over
Yeah.
here. So I was bow fishing because we're talking about rats. I was bow fishing, and so have you ever heard of a no?
No.
Have you heard of a nutria rat?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well it's just like a big rat, pretty much. It's like a muskrat,
Okay.
Something like that, pretty much. And so I was out there. I was like walking in water, wading. I was trying to shoot some fish. I see something like coming towards me, and I'm like, "What in the
On
world?"
land or water?
No, in the water. Because I'm like the water
You're
is
wading out.
Yeah, it's probably not really wading, but just it's about a foot deep.
Yeah.
Foot and a half, maybe 2 foot, but it's clear enough to where you can walk through. And
Where were you at?
Trying to shoot tilapia, however you say it. I say tilapia.
Me too.
Where was I? North Richland Hills. That's Dallas.
Richland Chambers?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was there. I was there, and then I see something coming towards me. I'm like, what in the world? And I kind of got excited because I thought it was a beaver. And I was like, oh, because I've never seen like a live beaver.
Really?
I've only seen like beavers dead on the side of the road. So I was like, oh man, I'd really like to see like a live beaver one time in my life. And I saw it coming towards me, and I was like, oh, it's a beaver. And then I was like, oh, but they got big teeth. And I was like, oh, I don't want it to bite me. So I was just like real still. And it's just like, just swam right by me. And then I see its tail, and it's got like a big long rat tail. I was like, that's not a beaver. I was like, that was a big old rat.
Really?
I was like, holy crap.
And you saw its face sticking out like while it was swimming?
Yeah, I mean, it was just there.
You see its...
I didn't see his teeth or nothing, but I mean, you could see his head and his tail just whoop. I was like, whoa. I mean, it was a big old thing.
Man.
I was like, that thing would have tore me up.
There's nothing else in the water that has a tail like that, is it? That's a water animal?
Nothing like that. No, I think I was pretty sure it was like a nutria rat. Because I've seen another one before, too. And actually, no, this wasn't a nutria rat. It was just like a wood rat. So it was slightly smaller, but still a pretty good sized rat. It was whenever I was working at Eagle. I was out there early one morning. I was checking like some cars that had to be shipped. The guy that was working with me at the time, Hayden, he was out there with me. He had a flashlight, and then we saw, what did we see? Oh, we saw an owl up in the trees, and we're like, huh, okay. And then we hear something over in the trees over here, so we shine a flashlight over there, and we see a rat like on the branches and everything, and then the owl's like, he's eyeballing the rat. We're like, oh, we're about to watch something go down. I was like, oh, this is going to be cool. And then Hayden starts throwing rocks at like the rat, and then he knocks him down. Like, and as soon as he hits him, like the owl swoops down, and he just misses him because he was trying to get him. He was aimed for the tree where he was, but then he fell like as soon as he took off, so he missed him. And I was like, that rat doesn't know how lucky he is. He didn't realize. Oh, we just...
Amber alert.
Amber alert. I put my phone on silent. I guess Amber don't care.
What?
Got it. Thanks, Amber.
Hello?
Thanks, Amber.
Hello.
I'm going to turn
Amber?
you off.
Amber. I'm a married man.
Can't be calling me like that.
Amber.
Can't have a buzzer going off every time you call me. That's not sneaky. We're inconspicuous.
Yeah.
I also busted my thumb this week. Yesterday, I actually busted it. I was slinging some steel, and then I swung it too far, and then there was another piece of steel there, and I went right into it, and I was just like, oh.
Have you had anything grab your nail and bend it backwards yet?
Yep.
He used to happen to me at the shop because I let him maybe get a little too long or something.
Yeah.
And man, oh my gosh. Talking about severe pain. I would be a terrible spy.
Yeah.
Like if they capture me, I'm done. Sorry, I'll tell you whatever you want. Just don't touch me.
We are going to take these pliers. Yeah, he's over. I know where he is. You don't even have to. All you had to say was pliers, buddy.
I'll give you the president's private number.
I'll get him on the horn right now.
Yeah.
What do you want? Launch coordinates?
I'll get you whatever you need.
Whatever you need.
Just put all that stuff away.
I can do. Yeah, we don't even have to do torture.
That would be a terrible. Yeah. Like I don't
think it would work. I would just even hope, like if that was like their torture, like smashing fingers, then I was like, I would crumble because, I mean, I smashed my finger yesterday, and that's not the first time I've done it. I've done it to one of my other ones, and it ended up turning black, and I ended up having to pull it off.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But this one, like I smashed it right down towards the knuckle, so like right at the end of the nail, like right there. And so it started just getting like real tight and pressure, and I was like, oh, I don't want to have to do this. So I had to get a hot needle and then burn a hole into my thumbnail.
To let it release?
Yeah, so all that blood would come out, and it wouldn't be hurting so much.
I had something before at the shop, and I don't know what it was, but it was always either this one or this one, and maybe it was a cuticle that got infected with the because I heard the coolant that we used, if it got in a cut or something like that, you can be in trouble.
Oh, really?
It's not healthy for you. But this right here would swell up like right there, and I would have to push it, and it would like ooze out right there underneath there. Not every month, but sometimes it was.
That does not sound good. That's like at Eagle, we had what we called MEK, and I don't know if anybody knows anything about chemistry or chemicals. It was like methyl ethyl ketone, whatever that is. I don't know. I just know you're not supposed to drink it. So that's the extent of my knowledge. But there would be guys, and it can't be good for you because it like strips paint and everything. But there would be guys like washing their hands, getting it like off of them. I was like, that can't be good for you. Why are you doing that? I mean, that's a harsh chemical.
So it's worse than like paint thinner or whatever, or mineral spirits?
It's probably something equivalent, if not like more, because it's supposed to take off like industrial paint. Like
moles.
Yeah. I think some dude was out there like burning moles off of him. Warts or whatever.
Moles off of mules.
Brushing his teeth. My teeth have never been whiter.
It tingles.
And my gums have never bled more.
That's clean.
You're gonna be just fine, Ralph. Don't you worry. Don't you worry at all. That's the worst I have ever been hurt in my life. Is smashing one of my fingers like extremely hard to where the nail eventually like gets pulled off. Because like the other one, when I smashed it, like it was just tender forever. Then finally I was taking a bath or a shower one day, and then the water just like loosened it up, and I just like it just
did it hurt when it came off?
No, because it just like slid off because it was all soft. But then it was like weird not having a nail.
Yeah.
And then
was it sensitive?
It was like it wasn't like
you would think.
Yeah, it wasn't like an open wound or anything.
Really?
But it was just like you can't. It was a weird, different feeling and sensation. Like you couldn't do this, like put pressure and just squeeze it.
Yeah.
Because the nail's not there. Because it was just like soft, like the rest of your finger.
Yeah.
But it was just
that's weird.
Yeah, and then like slowly my nail just like kept coming back, and I was just like, oh, what if my nail never comes back? What am I gonna do? Is it just gonna like? Am I just gonna have to get it? Is it just gonna build up like?
That's cool that it came back though.
Yeah, it's weird.
And just complete the entire nail.
I can't.
That's pretty crazy. You don't even know which one.
I think it's this one because this one is kind of
yeah.
Like
show
weird.
Me which one today.
It's kind of like it's this one right here, bud. I'll show you which one it
I'll
is.
show everyone.
Oh look, my other one.
Oh, this one and this one. Probably the worst that I've felt, I guess. I also passed out. We'll get there. I was doing on a lathe, and the pass would cut very, very thin.
Yeah, those things scare me.
Little curly Q things.
Yep.
And so I had this rod that I welded together, and it had a hook on the end, and I would take it so it wouldn't get caught and just start flinging stuff everywhere, and I'd pull it out. Well, with this one, I pulled like that, and when I did, it slid down the rod, went across my middle knuckle, and slid it down to the bone. And there's barely, it hurts when I try to clench it all the way.
Really?
It stretches still a little bit, but
I've got so many scars on my hands and stuff now. I don't even know what they're from anymore.
Actually, there it is.
Some
right
of
there.
them I
see.
Still
There's a
know,
little like a little light scar going across. It's like very, very little. It started gushing blood, and I grabbed it like that. I went. There's like the circular trough thing where you wash your hands when you come out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
And it was just spliced open, and it was a gap like that. And I was washing it, and this guy was like, "What happened?" So well, piece of metal cut me, and when I was talking to him in the middle of talking to him, next thing I feel is like pressure on the back of my head right here, and all of a sudden my eyes come to, and I'm on the floor.
What?
I fell backwards and hit my head on the floor.
What had happened? What?
Yeah. I started in the middle of me talking. And then this one dude, I'm not going to say his name because what we called him, it was his actual name, but it was by his last name.
Yeah.
It was already been rumors that he'd been gay and on drugs and stuff like that. Older guy.
Did you wake up with him in the stall?
Okay, so
yourself?
That was one of the jokes that I said.
The handicap stall?
One of the managers of the shop was like, "Man, that boy almost dragged you way in there and had his way with you." Because when I woke up, the guy who I was talking to was like, "Hey man, you okay?" Well, he turns around and yells for somebody, and that's when I came to.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Why am I on the floor?" I had no clue that it happened.
Why didn't y'all lay me on the floor?
And so, like, I didn't have a spot on, which was weird. I didn't have a spot on my head. My head didn't hurt, but I felt the pressure of my head hitting the concrete floor or the tile floor. And so they put me up on a little stool, and the guy, I almost said his name. I call him B. B came up, and he was like, "Hey, you okay, buddy? You all right? You okay?" And Dennis was like, he started talking right in front of him.
Yeah, you okay?
Yeah, man, he's great. He almost dragged you in that bathroom. And he kept like patting me and stuff. I'm like, I'm fine. Right. And like my ears were feeling like ringing.
Me. Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen Private Ryan where they're shooting the guns and stuff, and they have that high pitch, like it's really quiet, but and that's what it sounded like.
Yeah, yeah.
It was weird.
I get that in my left ear. Tinnitus. Well,
Tendinitis?
Tendinitis in my ear? No, tinnitus. Like
where it starts ringing?
Every once in a while, yeah. Every once in a while, and one of my ears.
I didn't know that was a thing. I just thought I was going crazy.
I can't hear out of it.
It's like the room switches with the like air or something like that.
I don't know what it's.
No, I mean, is that what it sounds like? Yeah. Like it gets quiet over here, and then it's like,
huh?
Yeah.
Yep. Do that.
What is it from?
I think it's just from listening to loud stuff all the time. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know what causes it. I've never looked into it, but I don't think there's a fix for it. So going to concerts and a lot and everything when I was younger too.
I wonder if I can go into the settings and change the ring. It's really annoying.
Yeah, change my ringtone. Could it be like a?
That was the worst. I think. And when I got circumcised, most people.
I remember that.
It's
there.
funny. You were there?
Yeah.
When I was circumcised?
Yeah.
I was 11.
I was like, a little more.
I was 11, and I woke up in the hospital.
Oh, yeah?
And was the most excruciating pain. And
why'd they wait so long?
Well, it was without saying other people's personal business. They didn't find a need for it.
Okay.
But then the reason for it is for like cleanliness and stuff. Like it can get dirty if you don't clean it properly. Apparently,
that's why I cut out my beehole.
I wasn't cleaning it properly.
That's your own fault. You need to be taking care of it.
So the doctor decided it was time for me to go have surgery.
They took you to the doctor. You were so bad. Look. I'm just gonna have to say if anybody says anything about me stinking anymore, it's like, yeah, well, I've never had to go to the doctor because I'm so nasty.
Well, Steven has, but I don't really remember what it was.
I bet you that's got to be painful.
Yeah, and it was funny because it was like an older black lady that helped me out of the bed. She's like, "Can you go?" Because it was good to go to the bathroom, get things working and being normal. Like if you have a surgery on your leg or hip or something like that, they want you to start using it.
Yeah, yeah. So don't get stiff.
Right. And so she helped me with the gauze to take it off. That was the painful part when it would. Dry blood was peeling off of it.
She's just like ripping it like a band.
She was going easy.
Let's take this one and that one.
It was that was pretty intense too.
Oh,
but then again, I was younger, so it wasn't like I was a grown man. But if you think about the Bible, when was it?
I never think about the Bible. Never.
When they had these men that had to come, grown men had to come into the tents to be circumcised.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's like
I can understand that. Listen
to Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah.
He has one about about Abraham and how he had to circumcise himself.
Yeah.
he's talking about how if God told you to do this, like, what'd you say? About that. Gotta have a conversation.
Can we have another thing that shows that I love you and want to serve you? Or can I cut my arm off instead?
Yeah, that's what he was talking about. Because he was talking about how he hears God, and he was talking about I'm gonna need you to circumcise yourself, Abram. He's like, what's that, God? I think we got a bad connection.
Huh? I don't think I heard you right.
Oh man, he's got a good one about that because he's talking about some of those rules are weird, how could we show that we love God or whatever? And he was like, how about we cut out pork? And they're like, okay, why? And he goes through the whole thing, and then he's like, and then there's the one guy in the background. Like, how about we cut off our own foreskin? He's like, no pork, all right, no pork, we'll do
easy,
no pork.
All right, we'll do that one.
I cut my pinky to the bone one time. I was about to feed. I had an iguana. And so I
got a hold of it?
Yeah, no.
I was like, dang.
I was cutting up like lettuce or something to like feed him, and the blade closed up on me because I was like cutting down. I don't know how it happened. I don't even remember. I know it closed up on me.
You doing like
and
that?
I was like, oh no! And I was just like, oh, but I didn't want to tell my parents like at all. And I was just like, oh no. So I just like held it, and I knew that we were going to Walmart. So I was like, okay. So I was just like wrapped up.
Wait, you just waited till you went to the store?
I knew we were going to Walmart that day because we were like,
that's not a short trip.
We were talking about leaving in like 15 minutes. So I was like, I'll be fine. So I like wrapped a sock in it, and then I like held it in like my pocket. And I was like, hey, I gotta go check something out. And then like I was like, I'm gonna go look at the toys or something. I don't remember. I made up an excuse to get away from them. And that was like when you could like walk away from your parents and walk to the store.
Nobody
at the time.
would take you. Yeah.
So I was doing that thing, and I was just like looking around. And I was like, okay. And I was like got it like a Band-Aid and everything, and like wrapped it up and like put that box back, and I'll be all right.
Julian the thief.
So I stole a Band-Aid, and
It was for a good cause.
it was for a good cause.
I mean, it went to the children.
yeah. It was for the children.
It was for the children.
For the little niños.
Save our children.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
So I got a scar on my palm. When I was a kid, we were clearing out some land out there where my parents live, and I tripped over some briars, and then like I went to catch myself, and there was a machete right there.
Ah.
And I landed on that, and so.
Ooh, this okay.
On that.
Okay. This I'm glad we're talking about this.
Yeah.
Because Victoria always told me a lie.
We're not gonna.
I want the truth.
We're not getting the truth today.
I want the truth. No, come on. You're talking about scars. They could see it. You could see it.
See what?
You're not hiding anything.
That's a birthmark.
Tell us what
That's
happened.
where my umbilical cord was attached.
Wrapped around my
I was
head.
I was attached at the face, so I got a direct line, a direct feed.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have
like them hats with the beer cans.
Yeah,
that come
like
out.
I don't even have a belly button because that's where it was. So the doctors fixed me up. All right.
Tell the truth.
All right, we're good.
Tell
it's
the
not
truth.
It's not even that interesting, honestly. That's why I tell a lie, because the lie is more interesting. It's just like
First tell the lie that you told.
I tell a lot of lies.
Okay, tell a few of those.
I'll tell a few. Okay.
You me tell you the one Victoria told me?
Yeah, tell me that one.
She said you were up on I don't know if it was a bunk bed or a chest of drawers or something like that, and you were trying to fly, and you jumped, and you hit the corner of a box fan or something like that, and that's how you got it. That's what she said.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
So is that true?
I was when I was a wee little niño.
You're lying. Tell the truth.
A niñeto. I was a little niño. My parents, they like to go hiking a lot in the Yosemite National Park, Yellowstone National Park. I said Yosemite, Yellowstone National Park.
I'm already not believing this.
And so I got separated from my parents one evening, and I had to spend the night in the woods by myself. And they were out there for
like Mowgli
9 hours, which was one of my nicknames as a kid because I was real skinny
for
and
many
had like
reasons.
long hair, and I like to live in the woods. Yeah. I walked up on a bear cub. I was like, oh, it's a bear. They like to cuddle. Apparently, I've seen it. I've seen it in cartoons. Georgia
Jungle
and
Book.
the Three Bears. Or Goldilocks.
Georgia?
I couldn't think of her name. Georgia Bears.
That's it.
So I went to hug that bear, and then he was like, not having it. And so he karate chopped me across the face. So that's one version. If you're into that tale, if that makes you happy.
So a karate chop put a scar on your face, or did he paw you?
Well,
in
they
the
got
face?
paws. It's a karate chop. It doesn't matter.
Karate chop is here, not here.
They karate chop with the claws out. The
claws are always out. Genius.
But it's a very different style from American karate.
So you got slapped by a bear claw? That's a donut store item, sir.
It was a very dried up old bear claw.
It was stale. Been there for 3 weeks.
Someone sharpened it. Okay, so there's that one. That's what I told Trent forever. Not that exact story, but I told him that
a version of that.
I was like, I got in a fight with a bear when I was a kid.
I think I actually remember you telling him that one time.
Like, wow. And I was like, yeah, it was pretty.
Yeah, don't mess with me, kid.
Your dad's pretty tough. I beat the crap out of that bear.
I'll do the same to you.
You karate chop me.
You should bring. Well, he probably knows the truth now, or maybe he doesn't. But you should bring like one of those bear rugs home. Be like, I finally found that bear that got me all those years ago. Have it in your living room.
That would be awesome. I would love that. That would be amazing.
Sometimes I wish that the kids would stay as young as they are when they're so like gullible.
So easy.
Because it's really fun.
Yep. It's so much fun tricking them.
So what's the truth?
All right.
And don't lie.
All right. So, I guess her story's kind of true. She got some facts in there. I was probably like 5, maybe 6. It was probably 5. I think it was 5. And so, I was on a chest of drawers, dresser, whatever you want to call it.
I couldn't think of that word.
Dresser. And I was in my parents' room. I was jumping from the dresser to the bed. And I was jumping.
Yeah.
Now, my version, I don't remember having a red towel draped over me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't say for sure. Other people that have told me, like, "Oh yeah, you were trying to be Superman." I'm like,
that was she said. Yeah.
I was like, I don't think I was trying to be Superman because I really don't like Superman.
Not anymore because you got hurt trying to be him.
Maybe that's why it's like in the back of my head, like you'll never like Superman again.
I like Lex Luthor.
Yeah, I'm evil. I want to shave my head. So,
I like Brittany.
I'm fine.
I'm at her. Ow.
Yeah, I was doing that. And then I was like yelling for Mom. I was like, "Mom, watch me. Because I was like, man, this is freaking cool. Look at me. I can jump 3 feet. Who can do that? Nobody.
Have you ever done it before?
What?
Jump
3 feet?
The jump you were doing.
Yeah. No, I had done it several times.
Oh, okay.
This wasn't like
so this wasn't new.
No.
You've been flying for a while.
Yeah. This ain't my first rodeo. All right. So
you probably had a cape on it.
I probably did.
That seems accurate.
That makes more sense. It sounds cooler. But I know I was getting ready to jump like this last time because I was like, yes, now Mom's watching. This is going to be it. And I guess I went to jump or something like that. I don't know, but we had a box fan right there on the floor, And then I slipped or did something. I don't know if I misstepped or what, but I know my face, like, I just hit the corner of it. I really don't remember much after that because it was so long ago. I do remember being in the car and holding like a towel on my face to keep it from bleeding and everything. I remember they put a Snoopy Band-Aid on me. I got 17 stitches.
Wow.
They gave me a chocolate milk, and then they let me go like walk up to the helicopter and sit in it. And the guy that was, I guess, the pilot or whatever, he was like, "Do you know what we do with these?" I was like, No, sir. And he was like, "This is where we take the people when we're going to take them to take their noses off." I was like, I don't want to be in here. And that's all I remember. And I remember my mom telling me that my dad was annoyed because she took me to the hospital. And I was like,
wow.
The way my dad is, I was like, he was probably like,
you were Superman. You should have been okay.
Yeah, I should have been fine. He was probably like, I could have sewn him up myself.
Just take him to Walmart. He'll find something.
He nearly cut his finger off. He'll be fine. He's fine. And so, and all I remember is after that, pretty much, is my dad pulled the stitches out after it was time. He's just out there. I don't know.
The whole time he's like, I could have did this.
I could have sewn this up so much better.
Well, I think in the back of my head, like you said, you don't like Superman because maybe that traumatized you. I feel that the reason I don't have tattoos and have a fear of needles is because when I was a kid, I was chasing after, those balloons you blow up and it's got a rubber band and you can go like that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I was chasing after one of those and I had stepped on it. And when I did, my foot went like that and my face went, pow, right on the corner of one of those end tables that they had. God. And when it did, it split it open. And so all I can remember of this is I don't remember the trip. I don't remember waiting. I think it probably was an emergency room, so I went right back in. All I can remember is like a story, like a movie. Like I'm fading, I'm reaching for my mom, and my mom's like, "It's gonna be okay." She's bawling and crying and everything. It's gonna be okay. And like people are holding me down and strapping me to the table because they were trying to stitch me up, and I wouldn't. It took like 25 guys to hold me down.
I figured. Yeah,
I was I was Superman too, and it was hold me down, and I wanted my mom, and then I remember blacking out.
Yeah.
So I don't know if if I was put under so that they could do it because it was on here and I wouldn't stop screaming and moving.
Right, yeah.
But I think that little bit of a trauma, I think, was a big part of the reason why I didn't bang like the needles with meth and stuff.
That's good.
And tattoos.
That's good.
So trauma can be a very good thing.
Yeah, I think so. It definitely keeps you away from a lot of stuff. Keeps you from doing even dumber things.
When I was really drunk, I threw a 4-kegger when I was living in Orlando, and these people showed up that weren't invited, had no clue who they were, and some dude walked up. Or they came in the backyard that was by the main road, and they came to the wood fence, and they just like in the shadows, and then some guy went out there, and like they kind of jumped him and kicked him around a little bit. So he was inside, and he was like the sweetest guy. He was nice to everybody. Always was like just there to have a good time. Never caused any trouble at all. Never seen him get in a fight or even like raise his voice at anybody. And he was waiting to get into the bathroom. And I'm like, what happened? And he said, somebody just jumped me outside. I'm like, what are you talking? Like, I threw this party at my friend's house. Yeah. And we're just here to have a good time.
And then you got
punks coming to
being stupid.
And so I turn around and I see this huge dude standing in front of me with this other guy whose shoulders is like this, but he's like one of those athletic taper.
Oh, okay.
Their shoulders are like that wide, and he's got like these broad shoulders.
Natural
and they're like
body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dude that had the wide shoulders and then like the thicker dude.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about? And I said, I don't know. My friend over there, he was out there having a good time, and somebody hit him or they jumped him.
Yeah.
And when I turned around, the dude that was standing in the back clocked me one time.
Yeah.
Right here in the mouth.
Right there in the mouth.
And the next thing I know, I open my eyes, and there's a dude that I know, this black dude, we called him Token, because he was the token black dude. Right. And so he got named Token. He thought it was funny. And he was like, are you okay? And I looked at him, I was like, is it okay to get up now? And he was like, what happened? I said, I don't know. These dudes came up and just hit me in the face. I have no clue what's going on. And all of a sudden, just like uproars of these people showing up. And they're like throwing people on the coffee tables, like destroying this house.
Oh, no.
And this girl grabs my hand that I knew that was dating the guy that I ended up letting move in with me.
Yeah.
His dad is in Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Okay.
His girlfriend pulls me through the crowd out to the back of where they came, and we went to our cars, and I went to the emergency room and got stitches, like on my lip. So if I don't have a mustache, like you can see a little hair lip right there. And it went all the way up underneath my nostril.
Oh, wow.
They had to do it inside and outside.
Dang.
At that time, I didn't feel a thing.
Yeah.
They were stitching it up, and I was like, I felt a little pinch, and that was it. But the next day,
I bet.
It hurt.
Yeah.
That was some pain. But lips are sensitive.
Yeah, it's a hard place to get hit, especially your nose. Your nose is you're just like, oh
yeah. Oh, he's crying. No, I'm not.
I'm not crying.
I've got allergies. But see, the thing is, like,
grandma died.
It was the guy that hit me ended up knowing someone that I was actually friends with because I used to go to the clubs over there.
Yeah,
and he was a part of that group, and I never saw him there, but he was there.
Yeah. So y'all are like in the same group, but
that guy never knew me, and this guy didn't know that he was the one that hit me. Yeah. And he was asking me who hit me, and so I told him, and he talked to him. Yeah. That guy, that was back when MySpace was a thing.
Yeah.
And he wrote me on MySpace and was like, dude, I didn't even know I didn't know who you were. I didn't know you were who you were. I'm sorry. Because I was like good with all their friends. He had no clue who I was, and I'd never seen him before.
And he just like hit you because you were talking about something that happened.
That he was a part of out there apparently. And it was just...
That's so weird.
I tried to get him... Of course, back then I drank, and I was like, that's all right, man. Just because there was a bar or a club that was like a dubstep club.
Yep.
And that was my thing. Like, that's what I'd go to. Yeah, I thought it was so cool. I said, well, just forget about it. Just come out. I'll buy you a beer.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't come out because he thought I was going to get my people to jump in when he showed up.
That's what I would have done.
But then later we ended up hanging out, and him and that big dude that was standing there, the big dude was the leader of this whole clan thing. Not clan. That's racist.
Were they white?
A lot of them were, yeah. They were like skinny white kids that didn't shower a lot. They all had gauges and like tattoos like everywhere. The dude that first stood up, that was the thick guy.
Yeah. His
entire face and whole body is tattooed.
Yeah.
And so he looks scary.
But with like Pokemon. So it's like intimidating, but not as intimidating.
No, this guy didn't have Pokemon.
Is that Squirtle on your face?
And we actually, us three became like really close later. Yeah. And it was funny because the dude that was all scary looking, that's like the leader, they were called Down to Rage. So that's what they were doing. They were there to rage.
Down to rage.
Yeah. They would get it. They got it on the inside of their knuckles.
Oh,
and it was DTR. That's what they,
Oh, man.
And so that was the part of the little thing, and they would always fight people.
Later.
That's what they were known for. And this dude that was the leader of it was actually
Dota Ray.
he actually came from a very wealthy family.
Oh man!
And he was a little bit older, and like some of the people in his
cheesy.
group, it was so weird.
Dota Rage.
Yeah, they would do their little in the photo. They would do it like, it would be like DTR. Really, they wanted me to get it tattooed, and I was like,
nah, I'm not.
I'm not a needle guy.
I'm not down to rage.
Okay, Jesus, that's cool, man. Whatever.
I don't do rage.
Yeah. I had one of them raise their voice at me one time. Now listen, this sounds funny.
The waters.
No, this sounds funny. I was. This guy came out of a room. They were doing. That was a part of the group of the people that did the one we talked about, drugs and tripping.
DMT.
The DMT.
DMT. It's DTR, bro. It's DTR. Oh, DTR.
DTM. So he come out of the room and he yelled. He's like, "Shut up, we're trying." And that dude, the big dude,
shut up, we're trying to
that
DMT.
was the leader. He like got mad at him and made him come apologize to me.
Pokemon
and
face.
said if he ever talks to me like that again, he was gonna whoop his. And he wasn't joking. He was really mad. I'm like, I barely know this guy, and he was a part of the little group that hit me in the face.
That's so weird.
Like 3 months ago, y'all gave me stitches.
People are like tribes,
but it's like it really was, and it was just funny how even in like the way that I was living, I still had the favor of God on my life. Like no matter where I was, God showed me favor. And even through the scars and stupidity, he still like gave me favor in everything that I would do. It was just
maybe got down to rage. Maybe that's what down to rage, God.
And I really think the reason that I got in trouble the way that I did, and the way it happened with my parents and all that other stuff, and then my cousin moving to the White House, it all was a part of God's favor. Because if I would have kept having His favor on my life,
right.
I would have kept going in the wrong direction and
right.
kept succeeding negatively, if that makes sense.
No, I know what you mean.
But those are my biggest scars. Like this one, this has a story.
Yeah.
That one was just, I hurt myself. It was a lot of pain. I passed out. But this one was a pretty interesting story, and I'll never forget those people because they made sure I was always taken care of.
Yeah.
Like not with drugs. They didn't do
right.
They didn't really do drugs, but they drank a lot.
Yeah.
They were alcoholics.
Okay.
That's what we call them here.
Yeah.
In East Texas.
They're just ragers. That's all. That's what we call them.
The Texas Rangers.
the Texas Rangers.
Yeah. But
oh man, I got one on my shin. I was running out of the woods with my friend Roy, and then there was like a rolled up thing of barbed wire there, and then I ran into that with my shin, so it split my shin open. And his mom was like a nurse or something because she stitched me up.
Oh, really?
Like there at the house. She was just like, "Well, I can fix it for you," and I was like, "Please do."
Got a shoelace and
yeah,
crochet stuff.
She got
These are really big stitches.
She got some of that same barbed wire. It was just ramming it through my skin, just
this will hold.
Stitching it tight. I'm like, "Ow!"
I've seen it on Hills Have Eyes.
Seen it on something. I got one right there.
Is it a burn?
No, that's a scar.
Is it?
Yeah, because my sister was lifting me up in the closet when I was a kid to hang on the bar, and apparently there was a nail sticking out of the wall, and then like I fell, and then it caught me like that.
You didn't hang on it, did you? You just slid down?
I don't think so. I was too young to even remember that. I was probably like 3 or 4 when that happened.
There was a kid when I
still got that
in Missouri when I was in Archie. This kid, I remember he was a year older than me. I think his name was Bobby, and a ball went over the fence out on the playground, and he was climbing up on it to get the ball. And when he came back over, you know how it has.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know it. I already know where this
went all the way down his arm. And he had to go to the emergency room because it ripped him open.
That hurts so bad.
Yeah,
I was on the playground. A girl, I remember this girl's name too, Jamie, a little curly-haired freak. If you're out there listening, I still remember the day, girl. She kicked a rock. We were like in line. We were lined up, like ready, about to go in. And then I remember she kicked like a rock. And that thing just, and it hit me on top of the head. It was just gushing blood. I was like, oh,
I'm dying.
I was like, what's going on?
That happened from her kicking it?
Yeah, like she kicked that rock and it just pegged me in the head.
Wow.
And it just like, but the cut was so small. Like it was smaller. I mean, smaller than like my pinky nail. I mean, it was just such a little cut. But like on your head, like, I don't know. I guess maybe there's like a bunch of blood vessels or whatever. But it was so much blood. You thought like something bad happened. Terrible.
When I was a kid, I had my and even in Palestine, but when I was living in Missouri, I had all my stuff, Chicago Bulls. I love Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan era,
I
and you know,
that.
Scottie Pippen and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They were like the team that you didn't want to mess with. They were iconic.
They were.
Still are.
Dynasty.
And I had a Chicago Bulls hat on. And when I guess I was there from 1st to 6th, I wasn't popular. My parents didn't have money. It was a small town, but it was like I got bullied a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't realize until I look back, because when I came to Palestine, I had it really good. It was very rare that I felt like I was ever bullied like Rodney and then would like make jokes, but it was just jokes.
Hey, freak.
This was actually
Nice
like
forehead.
physical. This one kid took karate and he thought he was so cool. And the kid pushed me and it hit a rock on the back, and I didn't want to go tell on him.
Right.
Because I was that kid.
Snitches get stitches.
Right. And so I go and
But you're going to get stitches anyway.
There was a stair step that went up into the gym. That's where the whole open area was, out by the playground. And I sit there and I felt like queasy, and I took my hat off and it was full of blood. And I just sit there and I kept pushing like that until recess was over, and I never told on him. I didn't tell him who. The teacher asked what happened. I think I went ahead and put that hat in my backpack after it dried.
Yeah.
But I said nothing. I was okay. I just kept holding my head. I never told him.
I'm fine.
Yeah, my eyes were crooked.
I'm going to be okay.
I had a limp.
Hey.
Hunchback?
Can y'all smell the color purple? It's amazing.
I do.
Whoa.
It's beautiful.
I busted my nose on the playground once. We had like one of those twisty slides at the primary. I remember I came running around there and went boom. I ran into it. I was like, oh! There's blood all down my face. I didn't tell on the slide either. I just want to let you know that I ain't no snitch.
Well,
I mean, I'm telling the story
you're a
now,
strong man.
but you know that's all past. We put
finally
that all
worked
past
through it.
us,
Yeah.
You know, me and Twisty Slide, we're all good.
Arch enemies.
Yeah, I've got that scar. That's an interesting one. I had a cigarette put out on my arm because I would not move out of the way from someone that I'm married to. I don't want to say any names. This happened earlier in our marriage.
In the week. Oh.
Yeah.
When you came home stinky?
This happened. You smell.
Now you smell like burnt skin.
I was like, I don't care. Don't even
Actually,
bother me.
I forgot. See those 2 dots right there?
Get burned all day.
Right there?
Oh, yeah.
That's from me putting cigarettes out on my own hand. You know what Molly is?
Yeah, because you're down to rage, bro.
Yeah. And there were some girls there. I was trying to impress them. We were all tripping. I'm not gonna say.
Were they impressed?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a good day for me. it bubbled up and all that stuff, but it was fine.
And you're like,
yeah. Jessie asked. She was like, "You did that to yourself?"
Like, yeah, girl.
Like, yeah. You're stupid.
That's why I ain't doing it to try and impress you. I do other things to try and impress you.
I use my brain knowledge to impress you.
Oh, what's up, girl? Yeah, I know what 5 times 5 is.
Tick you off of my podcast.
33.
She's gonna.
I can spell mayonnaise.
Man.
Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise.
A-S.
I put it on my sandwich. I've got all the scars.
I got scars everywhere.
I got scars.
Emotionally and
I got
physically.
internal scars, dog, that, you know.
Ulcers.
We got to unpack that in a different podcast because that's going to make me cry. I don't want to cry.
Well, today's episode is brought to you by ETX Apparel. Go to Etsy and search ETX Apparel, and you will find it's actually my store. And being the 20th episode, if you go and shop on your entire purchase, use the discount code Cactus20, and it will take 20% off your entire purchase.
That's what I'm talking about.
Thanks for stopping by. Check thebeardedcactus.com. You can find all of our episodes. You can sign up for our newsletter to see when all of our stuff comes out. And also, we do have a merch store in there.
Yeah.
With our pretty little faces.
BeardedCactus.com in the face.
Also, Facebook. Check us, The Bearded Cactus. We have a fan page. Look it up.
Not a lot of fans.
Later.
I don't know.
Yeah, we got like 600 something on there.
Heck yeah, get on there. Talk to us. Tell me something. Ask me a question.
Don't forget to interact on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Use hashtag The Bearded Cactus